Listen, man, right off the bat, I just want to talk to you about your season so far. 4 podiums in 6 rounds. You're 16 down. You know, obviously Tampa didn't go well, and that kind of hurts you a little bit. But starting after hearing you talk at A1, where you were sort of just you were super happy about getting a second, has your mindset changed a little bit about this season and where you expect to be?
Not really. I mean, first off, I've been super happy with how things are going. Like, I've just, focused very, very hard on the night program every single weekend so far. And, for the most part, it's really paid off. And I don't really think I am changing my outlook on it. I really want to keep the same mindset the whole way, because that's when I'm the most comfortable, I would say. And so I don't know, we still have so much racing to go, and I'm really like, it's kind of fun for me because, after Tampa, we all knew I had to rebound, but, you also got to go out and do it. You know what I mean? So it's been really fun to execute and just put my effort into that. So I know we still have a bunch of races to go, but like, I'm planning on doing that every single weekend and trying to stay in the zone that I need to be in to do that.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the press conference. You said you're sticking to your plan, and I asked you what that plan was. And basically, hey, I got to be there every week. You got to make it to the end. And, yeah, I think that's going to be good. But maybe at some point, if you are thinking title chances, like it will come down to, like, we got to get some wins and maybe push the limit. Do you think you'd be willing to do that if that comes? Yeah,
for sure, because the fun part is to, go back home, work on yourself, see what you need to want to adjust or something, and just to kind of like try and get that extra 2% and stuff. So kind of take that from weekend to weekend, and try to improve on that. So yeah, that's kind of like where my head's at. And of course, yeah, I mean, winning, I'm gonna, let's put it this way. I'm becoming more and more comfortable, like riding up front. So it's kind of been fun learning. And because I haven't really been in that position much, in the recent years, so it's kind of been fun being up there, and then you learn a lot more about yourself and just try to be even better.
I want to ask you about choosing to ride offensively or defensively. When you start to get caught like you did Saturday night, you have to kind of choose at times. And I feel like that's being in first in that position is a difficult position to be in. So how do you decide, like, I'm going to push forward, or now I need to start riding defensively to try to protect my lines, even though maybe they're not the best lines?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of go off your sensing, right? Because honestly, like last weekend, for example, I just lacked on that extra 2%. You know what I mean? And the turns were also very open. So yeah, you just got to sense, whenever you think he's close, or you kind of know, you have to pay attention, not just to the front, but also like what's going on behind you a little bit, because you can't just in a dull way stick your line and really leave the door open. You know what I mean? Unless it's like, he's going to go to the inside and you kind of swing like what I did. Like I thought he was going to take me a lot higher. You know what I mean? And I should have honestly hit that triple after, but I was afraid he was going to kind of wean left, going double, and I didn't want to jump into him. So I decided to pull out. So yeah, you just kind of feel it and sense it, and then, yeah, you want to try. If you have bull turns and stuff, like you can, I don't know, you're always going to lack in a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Like if you start riding really defensively, like when you're behind and you can play and you can swing wide and basically do your normal race line, it's almost impossible to like not give up a little bit of time, right? So unless you're that much better and you can defend it and just pull away right away, I just didn't have that extra 2% to go, that much faster to create a gap.
And I think you made a comment about like, people think this is what happens when Coop's behind me. Like it's happened. Did you make a comment about like the people's perception of that?
Yeah. Like I said, I know what the stigma behind this battle is, you know what I mean? But this was honest work in a sense that I'm like, I really tried. I kind of knew that I didn't quite have that extra 2% to like pull it up, but I'm going to try whatever I can to defend it and see where it takes me, and we got close and, but it's just what I'm saying is I knew that was going to get brought up. Yeah. And I just didn't, I knew that already ahead of time. And I wasn't like, I'm not worried about it because, I really tried my best, and I feel like I'm in a comfortable spot to actually bounce back and maybe not let that happen next time. Where in the past, it just was a different, same point outcome, I guess, but it was a total different style of racing. Like I tried all the way to the checkered flag,
Like some of those health issues, that was so long ago, but everybody's still kind of holding on to that. I definitely think it's a different situation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've worked really hard to find the good balance for me, and like I said, I'm always still learning as well. But I feel like I have it figured out to where I can be my best on Saturday, and at the same time not overdo it. You know what I mean? And try to always reach for more and more and more. So I think it's sustainable, and I'm honestly just going with it. Like I said, week by week, I'm going to keep doing my thing and see where it takes me.
At this point in your career, having a race like that with Coop where y'all are just battling, it had to have just, at some level, kind of just been fun.
It's been a long time since we have battled like that when we are both at 100%. You know what I mean? There's always things you want to work on, but it's been really a long time because, there were times where he was better again and I wasn't, and then the other way around as well. But like legit head-to-head battle, like it's definitely been a minute. So, yeah, you kind of just relearn, and I'm getting more and more comfortable with it, at least, because when you follow, you can learn a lot from the front and figure it out, but vice versa as well. So it was good for me to be in that position. Honestly, I think it was a good step for me, just to get better and be familiar with it.
You are continually improving year after year after year. Does this extend your career?
Yeah, up to this point, it's always, been for sure that I have a few years, but like, it's come closer and closer to where, honestly, I don't really know. I'm kind of winging it. I'm
That's
so
awesome.
focused in the moment at the moment to where it's very hard for me to say. In the past, it was always like, oh, I'll definitely have like 2-3 more years or whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm honestly just really enjoying the moment here on the, effort again and see how long I, can pull through with everything and how long. Let's put it this way. I'm in the mood for right now. I'm really enjoying it. And I put my, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
By like, you're going to know when you're retired, but I don't know, year, 2, a half a year. I don't know. It's coming closer and closer. So I haven't really thought about it. So, I've forced myself not to.
Well,
Is the transmission a big deal? We hear about it on the news and stuff.
That. Yeah, good question.
It's
a big deal in a sense. It's a little bit better. Like to me, it handled a tiny bit better. And then, I like the gear ratios a little bit better, but you still have to end up riding the bike. It's not like you give a 15th place guy a factory transmission, all of a sudden he's going to go top 5 or something like that. It doesn't work like that. It was just an addition after, the couple of years. My bike was the same the whole time. You know what I mean? Yes, we were messing around with suspension, but in general, there were no updated parts or anything. So that kind of opened up another door for me that I was really excited about to try. And then once it was in, I did like it. So I guess it was just an upgrade, and that came in handy.
Like, is that something they've had a factory transmission? They just didn't ever give it to you and Hep, or is it something they finally decided to develop? Like, what took so long to come
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
So, no, because there was a test one. But there was something like wrong with it or something. And, like it just, after that, it kind of like got dropped. Cause obviously like me as a racer and a famous, like I'm busy too. That does, it just kind of like got lost and whatever. And then I just got word and be like, hey, they're ready and we have a bunch and let's try it and whatnot. And then it was just open and I kind of just, let go of it because I had some other areas that I had to figure out, like switching, suspension brands and stuff. So there were because I was pretty happy with my bike either way, you know what I mean? Like yes, that could have been some things that I wanted to improve, but for all in all, I've done good on it and I've had fun riding the bike.
Let's talk about real quick the red flag situation for the 250s. You walked up to Levi Kitchen after that situation. What a crazy scene. The restart with 7 seconds left was a little it sucks for a racer, I think. Any of the racers, almost in any position other than Levi's, that was not a cool situation to be in.
No, not at all. Because I'm stoked that Levi won.
Yeah.
But like Max and I are super cool, we were teammates back at when I was with Firepower, and he was there. And so we've known each other for a long time because I raced him when I was a kid. So, he deserved that win. He really did. And I knew once the restart, and I thought, it was over 90%, like that this thing is over. And I could not believe when they said it was going to be a staggered restart. And I said, in my head, I was like, oh no, this is going to be trouble for Max. Like, this is Levi's chance. And it was 3 laps to go. And it just was an insane sprint, but Max definitely drew the short end of that stick.